This brawl over gun control, it's rarely achieved the civility of a debate, has been going on for 30 years, ever since the assassination of President Kennedy. And throughout that time, two forces have accidentally combined to defeat any national gun control bill. First is the almost holy power over popular opinion of the Second Amendment to the Constitution. It consists of one clause, one sentence, to wit, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. The National Rifle Association is the second defeating force, and it has that sentence chiseled, or used to, over the entrance to its national headquarters. Or wait a moment, not the whole sentence, not the whole reason for allowing the people to keep and bear arms, just the right of the people. Now that amendment was written at a time when the new nation, the United States, had no standing army, and it was the intention of the Founding Fathers to see that it never had one, because standing armies were either the private possession of monarchs, or they could be commandeered by upstart dictators. You simply had to look to Europe and to the country they'd broken away from to see the universal truth of this. So they naively thought the country could be made safe by a militia on call, by allowing every man, whatever his trade, farmer, mechanic, parson, lawyer, butcher, baker, to keep by his fireside a rifle. When there was an uprising, a secessionist move, an Indian raid, a tax revolt, whatever, the militia would be called. And when it was all over, the man went back to his trade, and the gun went back by the fireplace. So the Constitution says because the security of a free state needs a militia, then you should be able to keep and bear arms. Of course, this beautiful system couldn't last long, especially against warlike threats from abroad. Today, need I tell you, the United States has a standing Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marine Corps. Voluntary to be sure, but recruited, permanently organized, paid, and uniformed. The one condition the Founding Fathers set to allow the keeping of guns is no longer there. Nevertheless, not only the National Rifle Association, but the great majority of the American people defend your right and mine to possess guns because it's there in Holy Writ. The right to bear and keep arms shall not be infringed. I do believe that an overwhelming majority of Americans, both educated and illiterate, simply do not know that the Constitution does not proclaim any right to have a gun, to protect your family, to shoot an intruder, even to shoot a deer or a rabbit. The condition that allowed private ownership of guns is either ignored, forgotten, or by most people not known about. I've called the National Rifle Association the second force, always mobilized to resist any form, local, state, national, of gun control. The association's argument has been from the beginning, first, that the Constitution gives Americans the right to keep guns, secondly, that 99.9% of Americans who own guns have them for shooting animals with. And this point is a very strong one. In this country, this continent, whole communities of rural folk depend on their rifles to help feed the family. And shooting, hunting as it's called, is a sport among all classes. No bill now being proposed, and no bill likely to be proposed as far as thought can reach, will ban guns for sport anywhere in the United States. The solution of the problem is quite simple to state, and probably quite unattainable. How to keep guns out of the hands of people we would once have called mad and now call unstable, disturbed, psychopathic. In the meantime, there's been a large penitential movement in popular opinion. The solid opposition to gun control is dissolving fast. To the satisfaction of the pollsters and the alarm of the National Rifle Association, there is now a firm majority of citizens in favor of a gun control law. The National Rifle Association futilely points out the truth that the homicide rates have dropped in the past 3 years. But throughout this year, people have been subjected on their nightly television news to episodes of random slaughter among the young, especially in many cities and small towns. And the grisly statistics have been widely published and confirmed that 1 American schoolchild in 5 carries a gun, that among all the American young, between the ages of 15 and 24, the leading cause of death is homicide. Enough, people are saying, is enough. So what does the National Rifle Association do in this critical situation? The association has mounted a powerful drive to have women buy guns. Says one actress posing in an arms industry television commercial, "I refuse to be a victim. You can too." "Tip the odds in your favor," says another, glancing at the gun on the night table. These dramatic messages will, I'm afraid, reach and impress many more people than the readers of the New England Journal of Medicine, which has just published an elaborate study whose conclusion is that keeping a handgun in the home just about triples the chance that someone will be killed there.